The Montana Television Network. This is the noon news from Montana's news leader.
A very good Monday afternoon, and thanks for joining us on this Memorial Day. I'm Samantha Harrelson. The man who lost his life this weekend while kayaking Rock Creek in Carbon County has been identified. 66-year-old Edward Conning of Cody, Wyoming, was kayaking about 10 miles south of Red Lodge on Sunday when he started experiencing some trouble. The kayak overturned and Conning was stuck underneath it for more than 10 minutes. Red Lodge Fire Chief Tom Kuntz says he believes that is when Conning drowned. 25 rescuers responded to recover the man's body over the weekend. And we start our flood watch here in Musselshell County, where the Musselshell River has breached its bank. The break happened about a mile east of Roundup on Sunday night, according to the sheriff's office. Through traffic is closed from the intersection of Bakery Road and Number 4 Road to the River Bridge. And in neighboring Yellowstone County, preparations are underway for potential flooding later in the week. Emergency Services Director Brad Shoemaker says the Clarks Fork is currently at minor flood stage. So far, there are no evacuations or road closures in the county. Sandbag sites are ready and available, and the American Red Cross of Montana has opened shelters in Laurel and in the Heights. And on the western side of the state, the Bitterroot River has continued to slowly rise and has the potential to reach moderate flood stages today. Officials say residents in the Lolo area who live near the river are encouraged to take extra precautions in the coming days. As for the Clark Fork River, water levels are expected to rise slightly before leveling off for a day or two. Residents are encouraged to watch for groundwater infiltrating low points in their homes like basements and crawl spaces. And if you live near any flood-prone river, keep in mind that floodwater is not the same as normal river water and can contain bacteria and viruses that can cause infection and illness. The search continues for 4 hunters who went missing in Idaho County, Idaho, after their SUV rolled over into the Selway River. The accident happened a week ago today when 6 people were bear hunting in a remote area about 50 miles west of Darby. 2 men were able to make it to shore, but the 4 others have not been located. On Friday, Idaho County authorities were able to pull the SUV from the river, but found no trace of the 4 missing men. Search and rescue teams from Idaho County and Ravalli County, along with the U.S. Forest Service, volunteers, and family, continue the search. And an update now on the identity of the man pulled from the Missouri River on Friday night. Cascade County Sheriff Bob Edwards says the victim is 55-year-old Daniel Zygan from Great Falls. On Friday evening, emergency crews recovered Zygan on the east side of the river near the dog park. Emergency crews performed CPR, and Zygan was taken to a nearby hospital where he was later pronounced dead. According to the sheriff's office, it appeared Zygan was on a thin plastic raft that looked like it was designed for a pool. An autopsy is scheduled for later today. And now turning our attention over to Ed in the Weather Center. Ed, a lot of talk of flooding. What's it look like for the rest of the week? You know, we got some breaks in parts of the state, Sammy, but other areas we've had some very heavy rain, and that's what's adding to the problems right now. And specifically in southeastern and south central Montana, the flickering areas where we had quite a bit of lightning along with these storms from last evening. And I put this loop back of the last 12 hours to show you the heavy rain that was moving in. Reports are coming in as high as over 1.5 inches so far, with more on the way. Where you see the shaded areas start to fill in, that shows where we had the higher accumulations. This is through Bighorn County, Montana, and Sheridan County, Wyoming, along I-90. Some of those accumulations could get rather high, in fact, up to around 2 inches. We'll take a closer look at that in a few minutes. Thank you, Ed. President Trump recognized Memorial Day by laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier today. This is President Trump's second time as commander-in-chief laying a wreath for Memorial Day. Earlier in the morning, the president tweeted, quote, "Those who died for our great country would be very happy and proud to know how well our country is doing today." First Lady Melania Trump tweeted her thanks to, quote, "all the service members, their families who sacrifice so much to keep us safe." And as the nation comes together on this Memorial Day holiday, ceremonies are held to remember those who served our country. Good. Work. Ceremonies in Yellowstone County kicked off at 8 o'clock this morning at Veterans Park, hosted by the VFW Post 6774. The ceremony included a volley, salute, taps, wreath laying, and presentation of the flag. A display also offered a closer look at the number of troops that served and the lives lost since the Revolutionary War. Chaplain Jim Williams says the display is eye-opening.
They don't understand how many people have sacrificed their lives. And this is not only just them, but how many people have lost their lives in the war, and that's civilians and everybody.
The ceremonies continued through the morning, including Riverside Cemetery in the Billings Heights. Led by the Marine Corps League, the traditional ceremony started with a prayer. More ceremonies are underway right now across the state. Well, thank you so much for spending your holiday with us today on the Noon News. Coming up, after President Trump canceled the June summit with North Korea, a team of U.S. negotiators is in the country as the two nations try to come to a new agreement. But after the break, Ed has a full look at your Memorial Day forecast. We're back right after this.
You're watching MTN News with Samantha Harrelson. Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh. And Farm and Ranch News from the Northern Ag Network. This is the Noon News on Q2, Montana's news leader.